I never forgot the first time she said it, the words that would haunt me later. She had been standing in the kitchen, arms crossed, frustration in her voice, eyes sharp as knives. "You never listen," she said. I shrugged, a little embarrassed, a little defensive. "I do, I just—" "No, you don't," she interrupted, voice rising. "I tell you things, Wasim. I tell you my thoughts, my fears, my plans, and you act like it doesn't matter." I remember that night vividly. I thought she was exaggerating. I thought she was mad because of stress or tiredness. I didn't realize then how painfully true those words were, or how they'd foreshadow the nightmare that was coming. It started subtly, little things at first. I'd notice her phone vibrating in her purse while she pretended it wasn't there. Calls she forgot to mention. Late-night texts she typed and hid when I entered the room. I told myself I was imagining it, that maybe I really wasn't listening. But the unease grew. One evening I came home earlier than usual. Our street was quiet, the kind of quiet that makes every sound sharper. I paused at the doorway and that's when I heard it. Her voice, low, intimate, not the voice she used with me. "I missed you today," she whispered. And then a man laughed softly. Not in passing. Not a friend. A laugh that made my stomach drop. I froze. The room smelled faintly of her perfume, warm and familiar, but the sound, it wasn't meant for me. I stepped closer, heart hammering. I shouldn't have, but I couldn't stop myself. From the crack in the door, I saw her leaning in, smiling in a way she never smiled at me. And I heard everything. The words I'd longed to hear from her. Not for me, but for him. I stumbled backward and left before she noticed. The world spun, and I told myself I must have misheard, that my mind was twisting reality. But deep down I knew. The next few days were unbearable. Every message, every laugh, every "I love you" felt like a lie. I watched her, trying to convince myself I was paranoid. But the proof was in the little things. Her phone always face down, calls ending when I walked in, texts deleted too quickly. I questioned myself constantly. Maybe I wasn't attentive enough, maybe I drove her away. Then came the night I overheard the most damning evidence. She had gone to the living room to take a call, and I, pretending to be asleep, listened. "I can't wait to see you tomorrow," she said, her voice trembling with excitement. I hate lying to him, but I need this. The man's response was muffled, but I caught a laugh, warm and possessive, a sound that once would have enraged me if it belonged to someone else. My hands shook, my stomach knotted. Every memory we had shared, every morning coffee, every whispered goodnight, twisted inside me. I felt sick, yet I stayed. I couldn't leave. I couldn't confront her without shattering the fragile world I had left. So I listened, helpless, absorbing the betrayal in real time. Days turned into a week. I confronted her once, trembling, voice quiet but sharp. "Who is he?" I asked, trying to hold back tears. Her face went pale. She looked away, swallowing hard. "It's someone I met at work." It had just happened," she admitted. No flourish, no justification. Just a confession hanging in the air like smoke. I wanted to yell. I wanted to scream. I wanted to run and never come back. But I stayed silent, my mind a whirlwind of love, disbelief, and heartbreak. We argued later, a mixture of accusation and explanation. She cried, telling me how lonely she had felt, how she thought I didn't hear her, how our distance had made her vulnerable. And somewhere in her story, I saw a sliver of honesty. She wasn't evil. She was flawed, human, capable of mistakes that cut deep. I thought about all the times I had truly listened or thought I had. All the moments I had been too distracted, too absorbed in work, too self-centered to notice the subtle pleas in her eyes. I hated myself for that, for letting her slip away. But I hated her too. Not entirely, but enough to know things would never be the same. I needed space. I moved out temporarily, sleeping on the couch at a friend's apartment. Every night I replayed our conversations, our laughter, our arguments, wondering what was real. Every memory stung. Every smile now seemed a lie. She reached out, pleading, apologizing. "I still love you," she said. "I want to fix this." But love, I realized, cannot undo betrayal. And trust once broken is almost impossible to restore fully. Weeks later we sat down, not as husband and wife, but as two people trying to reconcile the past. She cried. I cried. I forgave her, not for her sake but for mine, to release the anger that was eating me alive. But forgiveness didn't mean returning. I couldn't go back to pretending, to ignoring the truth I had overheard. I left our home that night, a quiet goodbye, no dramatic slam of doors, no shouting, just the weight of finality settling in. The house smelled the same, but it was no longer mine. I carried with me the lessons learned the hard way. Love requires attention, trust requires transparency, and self-respect sometimes demands leaving what you thought would last forever. I think about her often. I remember the laughter, the warmth, the moments that felt genuine. But I also remember the whispers, the lies, the betrayal that shattered my perception of us. And in that memory I found strength. Because the hardest part wasn't discovering the betrayal. It was acknowledging the truth, feeling the heartbreak, and choosing myself over the life I had built. And slowly with time I learned to breathe again, to listen to my own needs, and to understand that love without respect, without honesty, is a house built on sand.